Good day. All right. I think my mic is on. Is it on? Yep, it's on. And I think I have things in order. Let's see. Let's see who's here. Okay. All right. Now I got to change the name. It's the Four Caballeros. But you guys are awesome. You're here every morning, and all times of the day. Let's see. Yeah, we have most Westerners. Where's my Easterners? I need some Easterners. Greg, where are you? Let's see. I think there's another new one. James, he's in Pennsylvania. And who else? Andrew's in New York, and Lucy's in New York. But I really appreciate you guys getting up early. All right, I'm feeling better and better. I'm going to take a big swig of water just before we get started. And I want to get into St. John of the Cross, the Dark Knight. Things are just, they're so bizarre out there today in the world. It's just incredible. And, it's like I said, it's just incredible. In my BitChute feed there, I found a video of somebody confirming that Bluetooth app that I have when I go, and I like to do that when I go visit, like when I was ill visiting my grandson at his birthday party in Pennsylvania, I ran that app again, the Wiggle Wi-Fi, W-I-G-L-E Wi-Fi app, just to see how many uncategorized Bluetooth signals there were around my hotel room. And we were on the bottom floor with my son Ben. We really need to have the first floor. And so as we were in there and we get, I get settled and whatnot, and that evening I turned it on just to see, and sure enough, there's like literally dozens of uncategorized Bluetooth signals within the area of its reach, and I think it's somewhere around 40 or 50 feet, and probably more like 100 feet, but it's probably more accurate within 50. And again, for anybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about, an uncategorized Bluetooth signal is one that does not have a name attached to it, only an identification number, which the creator of the device knows. So, and that's why it's illegal to not have a name attached to it, so you can tell who is has one of those devices. So for example, in my scan, there was also, there was Apple, a lot of Apple Inc., and there was room numbers for the television sets. It showed a little picture of a TV with a room 1, room 2, et cetera, et cetera. Those weren't the room numbers, but and people's phones that would say, I forget what the other
names of the devices were, but they were varied those, and they were mixed in with those uncategorized. But there were tons of uncategorized names, and it says uncategorized since there is no name for it, so they don't know where to place it. And those are people. Those are people who got that thing. And that video this morning that I watched was like, I didn't even think about this. He went to the graveyard and he was scanning the graveyard and getting, again, dozens as he's walking along. He's picking up these Bluetooth signals. Nobody else around there except for his cameraman and him. And he's getting Bluetooth signals uncategorized in the graveyard. And then, just to make it quick here, the video went on to explain that there's a patent now for cryptocurrency mining through the body, through biometrics. So and it's really, it's so creepy and unreal that they're doing this, but they're using the body activity, okay, the energy produced from your own body to mine cryptocurrency. All right, so this whole thing is diabolical. The whole thing is just incredibly diabolical. And anyway, my voice is starting to crack a little bit, so I'm not going to talk anymore. I don't want to lose it for Mass. And I do want to read that one reading. So, we are in incredible times. Not to fear. There's a place for us in what we're supposed to do. The talk that I wanted to talk with St. John of the Cross speaks about the deficiencies in the beginning stages and some of the characteristics of those who all of a sudden are given the light bulb about, not about, but given the light bulb from Dea Matronam Nostra, Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, the Trinitarian Theophany. When they make that decision to choose them, to choose the Trinitarian Theophany. So now, once they get there, then they have these issues. So I'm going to read about them right now after I get a drink of water. In nomine Dei Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Let us place ourselves in the presence of the Trinitarian Theophany and humbly adore Dea Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum in Catholic contemplation. Most Holy and Venerable Trinity, one God, one Trinitarian Theophany, in three divine beings, Dea Matronam Nostrae, Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. I believe that thou art here present. I venerate thee with the deepest humility. I render to thee with my whole heart the homage which is due to thee. And honestly, I can't wait until I get to the point where words won't be needed to be in the presence in the transforming union. Let us thank God for the many graces that we receive and offer ourselves up to the Trinitarian Theophany. I most humbly thank thee for all the favors thou hast bestowed upon me to the present moment. It is again thanks to thy bounty that I should live to see this day, and I desire to employ it solely in thy service. I consecrate to thee all my thoughts, words, actions, and sufferings of this day. Sanctify them, O God, that there may be none that is not animated by thy love, or that would not tend to thy greater glory. O Deum Matronam Nostrae, I place myself under thy protection. I throw myself with confidence into the arms of thy compassion. Be to me, O Mother of Mercy, my refuge in distress, my consolation in suffering, now and at the hour of my death. O most holy Trinitarian Theophany, Deum Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, I am heartily sorry for having offended thee, and I detest all my sins, because I dread the loss of heaven and the pains of hell. But most of all, because they have offended thee, O most holy Trinitarian Theophany, Deum Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, who are all good and deserving of all my love. I firmly resolve, with the help of thy grace, to confess my sins, to do penance, and to amend my life. Thank you for subscribing too. Hit the like button, share it, all that sort of silly YouTube stuff, but it's important to get those who are seeking this information. Okay, so we are speaking still. I took a long break for this one, but it's St. John of the Cross, The Dark Night of the Soul, Book the First. And we are talking now about of some spiritual imperfections which beset beginners as regards pride. When these beginners feel in themselves such fervency and activity in devout exercises, this very prosperity, although it is true that of themselves holy things beget humility, produces in them by reason of their imperfection a certain ramification of secret pride, whence they begin to view their works and themselves with a certain sort of complacency. And hence also springs an exceeding vain desire to speak of soulful things with others, and even at times to teach them rather than to learn. And in their hearts they condemn others if they do not perceive in them the sort of devotion that chimes in with their own tastes. And occasionally, even they give vent to their opinions in words, being like in this to the Pharisee who boasted of the things he did and despised the publican. Oft times does the devil increase in them the fervor and desire to perform these and other deeds on purpose, that their pride and presumption shall wax greater. For well does the devil know that all these actions and virtues they perform are not only worthless to them, but are rather turned into vices. And to such a length do some of these people get, that they would fain none were found good save themselves. And so by word and deed, when they meet with such a one, they condemn and slander him, seeing the mote in their neighbor's eye, and not considering the beam in their own. They strain at his gnat and gulp down their own camel. Quid autem vides festucam in ocula fratris tui, et trabem in oculo tuo non vides. ? Sometimes also when their spiritual masters, such as confessors and superiors, approve not their soul and mode of proceeding, for they hanker after their applause and esteem, they decide that they understand not their soul. Okay, so this is the practitioner. They decide that the superior, understand not their soul and are not spiritually or soulfully minded, since they do not approve of and agree with their own. Okay, like I said, I've been guilty of this, and therefore they desire and do their best to consult with some other who squares with their taste, for as a rule, they like to discuss their soul with those whom they have a notion, are sure to praise, and make much of it. They fly as from death itself from those who, to put them on a surer road, make light thereof, and sometimes even bear them ill will. Presuming greatly in themselves, their wont is to propose much and do little. At times they are eager that their companions should witness their soul and devotion, and to this end they make exterior displays of motions, sighs, and other outward shows, and at times are wont to have this or the other ecstasy in public rather than in secret, in all which the devil lends a helping hand, and that others should see that they so ardently covet fills them with complacency. Many seek to become favorites with their confessors, and hence expose themselves to 1,000 envies and disquietudes. They take shame to confess their naked sins, lest their confessor shall think less of them, and proceed to lend them another sort of color, so that they shall not seem so bad, which is rather to excuse themselves than to accuse themselves. At times they look out for another confessor to confess their sins to, so that their own shall think they have none at all, but that all is well, and thus they are always pleased to confess to him all that is good, and at times in such terms as to make it seem even better than it is. At least their wish is that he should think so, whereas it would argue more humility on their part, as we shall presently show, to make naught thereof, and be solicitous that neither he nor anyone else should attach the slightest importance thereto. Some of these also think lightly of their faults, and at other times are saddened over much when they see themselves fall therein, thinking that at length they were saints, and wax wrath against themselves with great impatience, which is another exceeding imperfection. Often they plead anxiously with the Trinitarian Theophany to deliver them from their imperfections and failings, more for the sake of being themselves spared the molestation thereof, and to be at peace, than for the sake of Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Matronam Nostra et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, not considering that if the Trinitarian Theophany freed them therefrom, they would perchance wax still haughtier in their pride. They hate to praise others and delight in being praised, and at times they claim it as a right, wherein they are like to the foolish virgins who, having allowed their lamps to become extinguished, go forth to seek for oil from their neighbors. Date nobis de oleo vestro quia lampadis nostrae extinguuntur. From these imperfections, some get to many others in an extreme degree, and to great evil therein. But some are subject to fewer imperfections, and others to more. And there are scarce any of these beginners who, in the season of their fervors, fall not into somewhat of this nature. Okay, so that's the bad news for today. Tomorrow I will go into the good news about those who seem to do the opposite. And at the end of Mass today, if I remember, I will show you a little chick and a duck that we got. Because I think nature is very good to have. farm life. Gets you away from electronics. Deum vobiscum, the quoque Oremus. O Trinitarian Theophany, the Creator and Redeemer of all the faithful, grant to the souls of thy servants and handmaids the remission of all their sins, that they may obtain by loving prayers the forgiveness which they have always desired, who livest and reignest with thee, one God, forever and ever. Suscipe Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum hoc immaculatum hostium, quam ego indinius famulos tuos offerit tibi Deum eum vivum et verum, pro in midibus peccatis et offensionibus et negligentis meis et pro omnibus circumstantibus cerebro omnibus fidelibus catalocorum vivi sacra defunctis ut mihi edidis proficiat ad salutem. Deum qui humani substantia didient autem mirabilit condivisit mirabilis reformaster de nobis spiritus sacra vimistium eis divinitatis esse consortis qui minitatis nostrae fieri dinatis es patriceps Deum Iesum Christum Filium, qui tegum vivit et reinat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Afferimus tibi Deum calicem salutaris tuum da paccantis clementium, ut ex spectu divini majestatis tuae, pro nostra, et totius mundi salute, cum adoris suavitatis ascendat. In spiritu humanitatis et in animo contrito suscipiam arate Deum Iesum Christum, et sec fiat sacrificium nostrum in conspectu Tuae, ut placeat tibi Deum matronam nostrae et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Veni sanctificator. Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, et sanctificite blata prosequendo, et accepere hoc sacrificium tuo sanctum nomini preparatum. Suscipe Sancta Trinitas, hoc oblationem contivia ferimus, ab amore passionis, resurrectionis et ascensionis Deum Iesum Christum, et in honorem Dei matronam nostrae et Papa Pete Sanctorum et Istonum et omnium Sanctorum, ut idis proficiat ad honorem nobis audam et salutem, et idi pro nobis intercede dedit in celis, quorum amorem agimus in tenis per Deum Christum Deum nostrum. Orate, ut meam ec vestum sacrificium acceptabile fiat per Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, suscipiat Deum Iesum Christum sacrificium de manibus tuis et laudam et gloriam nominis sui ad utiditatem quoque nostrum totiusque ecclesiae sui sanctae. Deum vobiscum, quoque apotei sursum corda habemus ad Deum, gratias agamus Deum nostrum, dignum et justum est. Dei icito clementissimi Mater Pater, Deum Matram Nostrae, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per Deum Iesum Christum Filium Tuum, Deum Nostrum Resurrectis Rogamus et petimus, uti acceper habeas et sanctificas, ex sanctam sacrificium idibata. In primis qui tibi afferimus pro ecclesiam tuum sanctam catholicam, quam pacificari custodidi ad honore, et regere dignidis tot orbit herarum aeque catholicae. Memento Deum famulorum famulorum catorum. We pray for the sick and the suffering. We especially pray for Katie Gage, Neil and Earl Lively, Maria Josephina Mose, Henry, Barbara, Benedict, Santa Croce, Mark Jr., Casey, Mr. Nobody, Ann Botink, John Cahill, Maria Line Weber, the Cantu and Duarte families, the Dasco, Nye, Tafur, Began, and Wolf families, and baby Began, baby girl Began, who has 1 month before coming into this world. We pray for Mr. Nobody to receive the funding and strength needed to complete the first Sede Vacantis Catholic Council office at Monastery of Illinois. We pray for an end to all governmental allowance or sanctioning of abortion, transgenderism, transhumanism, child trafficking, child abuse, any kind of human trafficking, anywhere, place, or time. We pray for the establishment of a Catholic monarchy with a sound Catholic system of labor, human value, and medium of exchange. We pray for courageous men to step forward as leaders of this Catholic society when called upon to do so, and not in fear. We ask Deum Matronam Nostra et Emiesum Christum et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, with this Mass to destroy the satanic document of Vatican law that is the Jewish Talmud. We ask you to destroy Rome and the Vatican and to transfer the authority of the Catholic Church to Fatima, Portugal. We also ask you to release the souls controlled by the demons, Lilith and Asmodeus, and send them to the bottom of hell. The demons, that is. We pray to shut down all particle accelerators, close all gateways and portals, and block any demonic entities from entering our realm, and any that are here be destroyed and sent back to hell. All these things we ask in accordance with God's holy and divine will. Et omnium circumstantium quorum tibi fides cognita est noto devotio pro quibus tibi afferimus, verque tibi affrontox sacrificium laudis, pro se suisquam nebus, pro redemptionem manum suanum, pro spe salutis et ego lamentatis suae, tibi queretum vota sua aeternam Deum vivo et vero, cum locantes et memorem venerantes, in primis gloriose semper Deum Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Beatorum martyrium tuorum Papis Sancti Petri, et Sancti Lucia, et Sancti Jacinta, et Sancti Francisco, et Sancti Juan Diego, et omnium sanctorum tuorum quorum editis praetibusque concedas ut in omnibus, protectionis tui monum ad exilio per inum Christum Deum nostrum, quam oblationem te Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum in omnibus, consecratum acceptabile effigie nidis, ut nobis corpum et sanguinem fide dilectissimi filium tuum Deum Iesum Christum, qui pridie quam partorito recepit vanum in sancta saeparabilis manus suas, et elevatis oculis in caelum ante Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum suum omnipotentem tibi gratias agens, consecravit frigidi dique lumis sui dicens accipite et mandacati ex hoc omnes. Hoc est enim corpus meum. Simini modo postquam ceremonia est accipiens, et hunc preclaram cadicem in sancta sacramentis manus suas item tibi gratias agens Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, consecravit dique lumis sui dicens accipite et vivite ex aeones. Hic est enim calix sanguinis mei, mysterium fidei, que pro nobis et pro multis effundetur in remissionem peccatorum, et quod est cum efficietis in memoria efficietis. Unde et memores Deum nos servitui, sed plebs tua sancta justum Christum filium tuum Deum nostre, tam beata passionis nec non et benfidis resurrectionis, sed et in celos gloriose ascensionis offerimus, preclare majestatitudi tuis donis actatis, supraque propitio ac serena votur respiciedi dineris. Subletis terragamos Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, ibi hic perfide per manus tuum, ut quod ex hoc autaris participationem sacrosanctum Deum filium tuum, corpus et sanguinem subsenimus, omni benedictione celeste gratia Dei per amor, per inum Christum Deum nostrae. Sanctificatione. We pray for those who have died. We especially pray for Peter Joseph Gensler, for whom this Mass is being offered. ipsis Deum et omnibus in Christum crescentibum, locum refugere illugis et pacis, und toto geste proclamar per inum Christum Deum nostrum. Per quem haec omnia Deum Iesum Christum semper bona creas, sanctificas, vivificas, consecratis et prestas nobis. Per ipsum et cum ipso et in ipso. Est tibi Deum Patrum omnipotenti in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Omnis honor et gloria. Ave Deum, matronam nostrae, gratia plena Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum Tecum. Deum matronam nostrae, materam Deum Iesum Christum, misericordia nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Libera nos, quesumus Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, ab omnibus malis, praeteritis, presentibus et futuris, et intercedente beata gloriosa semper Deum matronam nostrae, cum Papa Petrum Sanctorum et omnibus sanctis propitius pacem in diebus nostris, ut ope misericordiae Tue aduiti te peccato, simus semper liberi et ab omni perturbatione securi. Per Deum nostrum, Iesum Christum, Filium Tuum Deum nostrum, qui tecum vivet et renat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per aeternum. Pax Deum Iesum Christum sit semper vobiscum, et quoque repete, ecum extio consecratio copris et sanguis Deum Iesum Christum, fiat accipientibus nobis in et salutem aeternam. Pax tecum, et quoque repete. Deum Iesum Christum, qui ex voluntate Deum matronam nostrae, quaparante Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per mortem tuum unum vivificasti. Libera me per hoc sacrosanctum corpus et sanguinum tuum ab nubis iniquitatibus meis. Et universis malis et fac me tui semper inhalare mandatis, et numquam separare permittas. Qui cum eodem Deum matronam nostrae et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum vivis et regnam aeternam. Perceptio corporis tui Deum Iesum Christum, quod ego in linus sumere presum non mihi proveniat in judicium condemnationem, sed pro tua pietate prosit mihi a tutum metis corporis, et adame Deum percipiendam, qui bibis et reinas cum Deum matronam nostrae in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Panem celestum accipiem, et nomen Deum Iesum Christum invocabo. Deum matronam nostrae non sunt dignus, ut dissertetum meis in tantum verba sapere mea. Deum Iesum Christum non sunt dignus, ut dissertetum meis in tantum verba sapere mea. Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum non sunt dignus, ut dissertetum meis in tantum verba sapere mea. Corpus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima mea. Quid retribum Deum Iesum Christum. Pro omnibus quaeretuit mihi, calicem salutaris accipiem et nomen Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum invocabo. Laudans invocabo Deum matronam nostrae et ab inimicis meis abusero. Sanguis Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima mea. Quod ore subsimus Deum Iesum Christum puramente capiamus et immunire temperae fi nobis remedium sempiternam. Kopes tuum Deum Iesum Christum, quod somsi et sanguis quem potavi herevisceribus meis presta, ut in me non remeniat scelera macula quem purat sancta repetiena sacramenta. Deum vobiscum, quoque apote, oremus. May the prayer of thy suppliants profit the souls of thy servants and handmaids, we beseech thee, that thou mayest free them from all sins and make them sharers in thy redemption, who livest and reignest with thee, one Trinitarian Theophany, forever and ever. Deum vobiscum, quoque apote, ite mises, Deum gratia. Placeat tibi sanctas Trinitam obsequim servitutis meae preso ut sacrificium cor oculis tui majestatis ininus optuli tibi secrat octavere mique et omnibus pro quibus idut optuli sit de miserante propitiabile pecurosum Deum nostrum. Sanctificat vos omnipotens Deum, Matronam, et Filium, et Spiritum Sanctum. Deum Matronam nostre, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gracias. O Trinitarian Theophany, I believe, I venerate, I hope, and I love thee. I beg of thee pardon for those who do not believe, do not venerate, do not hope, and do not love thee. Most Holy Trinity, Deum Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, I venerate thee profoundly, and I offer to thee the most precious body, blood, soul, and divinity of Deum Iesum Christum present here, in reparation for the outrageous, sacrilegious, and indifference by which he himself is offended, and through the infinite merits of his most sacred heart and immaculate heart of Deum Matronam Nostrae, I beg of thee the conversion of poor sinners. In nomine Deum Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gracias. Okay, as promised. Give me one of you guys. There's one, there's one. Okay, good. There we go. It's okay. So that little ducky's a noisy one, isn't he? Say hello to the camera. This is a leghorn chick here. Lots of eggs from these. And there's a duck, Peking, I believe. And they make nice big eggs, too. All right, say goodbye. Okay. All right. There we go. Oh, great. Now I got chicken poop on me. All right. So thank you for putting up with me and for attending the Most Holy Mass, most importantly, and to listen to the important lessons that St. John of the Cross brings us. I'll continue with St. John of the Cross tomorrow at the same time, 7:30. Please go and sanctify all those who you meet. Have a great day.